Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. So as you can tell from the title, I'm taking it all the way back to the basics. So for this video, I wanted to show you guys how I like to apply my foundation and my highlight or concealer. I'm gonna try to take it back to the basics and just do stuff like that I would have done when I was starting out with makeup and everything, which is learning how to do eyebrows, learning how to do the foundation, highlight, contour thing. And so today I'm gonna focus on my skin. So the first thing that I do before I put any makeup on my face is I like to apply my primers. So two of the primers that I like to use are the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser and the Smashbox Photo Finish. So these are two pretty affordable primers that you can use. I'm really big on skincare, so I always like to make sure that my skin doesn't look crazy or like break out and all that stuff because of makeup or any other reasons. So I always make it an effort to put on some type of primer because I don't have any time for my skin to be breaking out. So those are the two that I like to use. So I actually applied some already. My face is kind of looks like it's glowing low-key, but so I already put some already because I did do my eyebrows, and so I like to just put the primer all over my entire face, and then I go ahead and do my eyebrows before I put on my foundation. Right after that, I like to go ahead and add my foundation, and you guys already know my favorite foundation of all time is the Lancome foundation, which looks like this. And the color that I use for my skin tone is the 560 Sue C. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's the one that I like to use. So that's the one that matches my skin color the best. So this is what I would go into next, is putting on my foundation. The way that I like to do it is I either will dab it on like the back of my hand and then use a brush or a beauty blender to apply it. But I've kind of just been liking dabbing it all over my face and then using my brush to go ahead and blend it all out. So I'm going to apply the foundation on half of my face, that way you guys can see the difference in skin color. This is probably like the darkest foundation that I found that I actually like. You guys already know, like, for dark skin girls it's such a struggle for makeup, but I kind of feel like overall though we are starting to get a little bit more variety, or a few more options, so that's kind of nice. But it has been a struggle for a very long time, so I'm glad some makeup companies are finally getting it, and it's finally clicking that there are people darker than the average person. Like us South Sudanese, we're really dark, so you know, we need something that works for us too. So this is what the foundation looks like. I kind of like to just dab it and then I'm gonna mix it in. And like I said, I'm just gonna start with half my face so you guys can see the difference in foundation. And I put this all over my face, so even my lid, just so my entire face has one shade. So I even put that over my eyelid. And I blend it over my cheeks. I always get this in my hair. Like, there's never a time that it doesn't get in my hair. But yeah, so as you guys can see, this is half of my face with the foundation on it, and then this is the other half with nothing. So you guys can see that this is my shade. Like, this is my favorite foundation. I do have like shiny spots on my face, but that's just naturally how it looks. But I just love how this foundation looks. This blends with my face so much better than any other foundation that I've used. The tones are either way too red or it's too cool, but this is like perfect for my undertones and my skin color. So yay for this foundation. I'm so glad I finally found one that I love. I am planning to try a few more foundations, but I just don't know which ones I want to try yet. So if you guys have different foundations that you'd like me to try, if you're thinking you're around my same skin color, then just leave me the titles below and I can try to check those out for you guys. But if I know right off the bat that it's not my skin color, I'm not going to buy it simply for a review, because for me that's kind of a waste of money, just saying. But yeah, so that's what I do first, is just apply my foundation. Alright you guys, so after I've applied my foundation, then I like to go in with my concealer or highlight, which I'm going to put right underneath my eyes here, down the bridge of my nose, my chin, cupid's bow. Sometimes I like to do a reverse contour right on the ends right here, and then I'd like to dab a little bit on my forehead sometimes. Like, you guys can kind of see my forehead always has like a glow. Like the light always hits my forehead, so sometimes I don't like to highlight it because it's highlighted enough. But for the sake of this video, I'll go ahead and do that for you guys. So the concealer that I'm using is my LA Pro Girl concealer, and this color that I like to use is dark cocoa. I kind of like to use the dark cocoa, or sometimes I mix it with the beautiful bronze, but it kind of just depends. But for today's video, I'm going to go ahead and just use the dark cocoa. And so I'm just going to go ahead and apply it, and I just squeeze it right out of the bottle and then just apply it right underneath. My concealer days depend. Like sometimes I do a lot of concealer, sometimes I don't really do a lot, but I don't know, it just kind of varies by day. So I'm just gonna apply this to these areas. I will go ahead and do some right underneath my cheekbones, and then I'm debating on my forehead. Maybe I will. So I just bring the concealer out, and then if I'm wearing eyeshadow, then I usually will take my concealer like right on the corner of my eye and I drag it out, and that just cleans up my eyeshadow and just makes everything look really sharp, which I like. And then I just like to dab it like on the ends of my nose. I don't really contour my nose because, to be honest with you guys, I'm really not like a pro at contouring, and so I just really don't bother. My nose is flat and I kind of have a bigger nose, so I just like to put it right there just to add a little bit of definition, but I don't really do all the contouring and the chiseled look, so I kind of just leave it the way that it is. This is kind of a lot of concealer. If it was an everyday look, I probably wouldn't wear this much, but for today, if I was doing like a full glam or something, then I would put this much concealer. So yeah, that's kind of a lot right now, but it's all good. Alright, so once I've applied the concealer, I saw this trick from somebody on YouTube. I forgot who it is, but if I remember, I'm going to put that in the description box. But what she did was she sprayed her face after she put on her concealer, like before she set anything. And so I kind of like the idea of doing that. It just makes everything dewy, and I feel like it helps me blend out my concealer. So the setting spray that I'm going to use is the e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set, which looks like this. One of the best setting sprays ever, and it's like $3. So this is like, how do you lose? Like, you cannot lose. This is like one of my staple products. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and mist my face with this. Okay, so now my face is all wet looking, and then I'm gonna use my beauty blender and I'm just gonna blend out my concealer. So when I blend out my concealer, I like to put it over my eyelids, which just saves me some time when I'm doing my eyeshadow, because then my eyelids are already set. And if you're like me and have oily eyelids, you know how important it is to set your eyelids, because it's such a struggle. Like, my eyeshadow always creases. So if there's a product out there that you guys know about for anybody who has oily eyelids, you guys should let me know, because that has been like a continuous struggle for me. Alright, so once my concealer is basically blended out, I go back with the same brush that I used to apply my foundation, and then I just make sure that I blend out the ends with that. But sometimes I lose a little bit of the foundation color, so I just go back and just kind of blend the edges out with that. So like I told you guys before, sometimes I like using the dark cocoa as my concealer, but if I feel like the colors have blended out a little bit too much, like you can kind of see right there a slight contour with just doing the reverse on the bottom. But just to brighten my face up a little bit, I am going to add a little bit of beautiful bronze just right underneath my eyes. If the colors have kind of blended together and there's not too much definition, then I will add just a little bit more of a concealer, but it's just usually a brighter one right underneath my eyes. So I'm not going to put nowhere near as much as I put on the first time, but this is just going to be a little bit underneath my eyes. And then for this one, when I'm just adding a little bit, I am just going to use my little stipple brush and just add that a little bit right on the bottom. So you guys can kind of see how it just brightened up my face a little bit more. Alright, so now that the concealer is done, I'm going to go ahead and set my face. So what I like to use to set my face is the Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and I'm just going to apply that right underneath my eyes and everywhere else that I had applied the concealer. I just dab a little bit on the exact same beauty blender, and what I do is I just press into my face. So I don't really like to add too much. I don't really like to bake or do the whole baking thing, so I kind of just like to press it into my face. Alright, and then what I like to do is I just like to lightly brush that out with a bigger face brush. There isn't really too much excess, but just to blend it out a little bit more. So if I was going to contour my face, which I just prefer to do a reverse contour because I'm still learning on how to do all of that, because my cheeks are already big, so it's just too much. But so if I am gonna contour or attempt to, then the product that I like to use that I've been loving right now is the AJ Crimson foundation. It's the cream foundation and the number is 8. So I'm just gonna show you guys what this looks like because it is so dark. Like, I just love it. So this is what that one looks like. It's this really dark cream. I think I'm going to save the whole contour thing for another video after I feel like I've gotten better at it a little bit. But look at how this color looks. Like, it's so pretty. Doesn't it look like a chocolate bar? Like, it literally looks like a bar of chocolate. But yeah, so that's what I like to use to contour. But I'm not going to do that for this video because I'm just trying to get a little bit better at that. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So I'm not even going to bother to do that. I'm going to stick to my little reverse contour for now. But then what I do after I set my under eyes and everywhere else that I applied the concealer is I like to go ahead and set the rest of my face. And the product that I like to use for that is my Becca Cosmetics pressed powder in the color Cocoa or Cacao. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But yeah, I just apply that all over the rest of my face. And then I'll show you guys what highlight I like to use. And I will basically be all done. So I'm going to show you guys how I do the rest of that. And then I will be back to finish the video. So I just take my big fluffy brush and I just blend out the rest of my face. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you my favorite highlighters. I could probably do a whole separate video just on highlighters because I have so many that I love to use. But I'm going to share my 2 favorite ones. One of them is from Makeup Geek and the color of this one is Ignite. So I'm going to show you guys what this one looks like because it's so pretty. That is what this one looks like. It's a really pretty shimmery color. It's kind of like a gold. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up using this one today for this video, but I love this. The other one that I like to use is from Hikari and it's the Radiant Shimmer Bronzer. I actually got this one in an Ipsy bag, so if you guys know or have been watching my channel for a while, then you know that I used to do a few unboxing with you guys of the Ipsy bags. So you can check one of those out if you want to, but the highlight that I like to use is this one right here. So it comes with like 4 different highlighters, and the one that I like to use is this one right here, just for a more chill highlight. But if I want to like do the most, then I like to use this shimmery gold one right here. But like I said, for this video I'm going to use the Makeup Geek one, and it's the one in Ignite, and I'm just going to apply that all over my face. And then I just use a brush for this one, and it's a tapered highlighter, and this is from Luxie, which is actually another product that I got from the Ipsy bag. And then I just apply that like on my nose, like right on the tip of my nose. And then a little bit right there. And I don't really like to use a lot of highlighter because I don't want it to look really unnatural. So I like to apply it first and then I blend it out. So my Cupid's bow is probably like one of my favorite places to put my highlighter. I don't know why, I just love it. But I just like to put like a lot right there. And then whatever's left on the brush is what I will go ahead and add to like the higher points of my face. So like above my cheekbones right here. And again on the other side. Like I said, I don't really like to use a lot of highlighter. I kind of keep it minimal, but yeah. I remember one day when I was on Twitter and I was like, oh, like, I think I decided I don't like highlighter anymore. And so many people were coming for me, like, how do you not like highlighter? And I was like, bruh, my face kind of naturally glows because of my skin color. Anytime the light hits my skin, I just feel like it just looks like it's overly glowing. But yeah, so that's kind of how I apply it at first, and then I just blend it out with my fingers. So I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I definitely can compared to when I just had it on normally. And then I'm going to take my face brush one more time and just lightly cover those areas. And that's basically how I apply my highlighter. So the last step that I do after I would complete the rest of my makeup, so eyeshadow, all of that or whatever, is I would just go ahead and spray my face with setting spray. And again, I'm using the e.l.f. one like this. This should be like in everybody's bag as like your backup. If you have a favorite already, cool, but I think you should keep like a little e.l.f. one as your backup. But yeah, then I just spray my whole entire face. Woo, drenched in this. And then you guys have seen in my videos that I like to use my fan. This is actually a gift that I got from a friend who went to Spain, and she got me this fan. And I didn't really have like a use for it, but after I started doing makeup videos, I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly how I'm gonna like end up drying my setting spray. So I just like to fan my face. Alright, and then that completes the video, you guys. So that is all I do to apply my foundation, concealer, and my highlight. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you are starting or getting into makeup and you don't know what to do, I am going to do a lot more of these back to the basics videos that are just going to show you guys like simple stuff. So if you have any suggestions on videos or if you have any questions, leave those in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!